Want to hear something real weird?
What?
My friend Jane's mom is married to another lady.
No.
Yeah, she got 2 moms and had to read a book about it.
Boy, I guess we're real lucky to live in a regular house, huh?
Yeah, we got one parent like everybody else.
So I'm gonna read this article real quick. Gay man speaks out against gay marriage. Huh? Alright, so this dude, I think his name is Doug Mooring. I'm gonna call him Doug M. Is a man that we've probably never seen before and probably will never see again. He's gay, but he's also against gay marriage. Not only is he against gay marriage, he says that children need a mother and a father. Yeah. He's willing to speak out on it, or speak on it, as I would say. For a long time, I thought I could just find the right partner. We could raise my kids together, but it's becoming increasingly apparent to me that even if I found somebody exactly like me who loved my kids as much as I do, there would be a gaping hole in their lives because they need a mom. Doug, co-founder of National Capital Tea Party Patriots, the gay conservative, said to the Christian Post, Doug is now living with his ex-wife as a co-parent so they can raise his son as a traditional family. The opinion might not be popular as the world has really started to publish an all-gay agenda, but it seems to be one that has been taught out and might be good for helping children cope with the rest of society. I don't want children being engineered for same-sex couples where there is either a mom missing or a dad missing. Doug explained, somebody needs to stand up for the rights and the needs of children in an age when the selfishness of adults seem to be triumphing over those rights. When someone asked Doug, how could you be gay and be a conservative? He replied by asking them, are you an adult? You have children? How could you be a liberal? Well, damn. This led the audience erupt in applause in response to his remarks. What do you think? Is it possible for a gay man to believe that children are better off with a mother and a father? Or would he automatically be called a what? A sellout. So, I'm going to address that in a couple seconds. But this was a quick article from a gay conservative, and he kept it real. I agree with him 100%. So one of the talking points from liberals during the election was that the Republican Party in particular is sexist, bigoted, and homophobic. And I'm going to address that situation deeper in a different sermon, but for right now I'm going to just tap on it a little bit. Basically, every time liberals get an opportunity to talk about the lack of diversity in the Conservative Party or the Republican Party, they use that as ammunition to get people in minorities to say, see, you're bigoted. But on the flip side, whenever there is a black or a female or a homosexual like the ones you see in the picture, well, the one, Turk is just whatever. You got Turk on the left, and then on the right you have Chris Barron. He's the chair member of some GOP gay movement. But anyways, this is a clear example of how liberals do this. So this dude is a conservative. Every single time, if you look on YouTube and look at the debate between these two, Turk never talks about any of the issues or any of the topics that he's supposed to be talking about. All he does is grill him on why is he a gay conservative. That's it. Like every single conversation they have, that's what they talk about. So it's amazing to me that they still get away with that talking point of how lack of diverse that the Republican Party is. Yet whenever you see a minority or someone that they claim is not there, what do liberals and progressives do to that individual? When it's a black person, they call them sellouts, Uncle Toms. Sarah Palin was roasted and just ridiculed completely from women. I've never heard more women call another woman dumb in my life. For, if she's dumb and she's keep getting more and more successful, I want to be dumb too. But that's just the illustration. And here you got young Turk, who, every single time he talks to this dude, he's grilling him on how he could be gay. And look at the values, or look at the platform, and look at what it stands for in spite of his sexuality. Of course, he knows the Republican Party isn't about that life, or they're not openly about that life, put it that way. But when it comes to politics, he's a physically conservative person. He's for less government, not as much spending, things of that nature. Yet Turk ignores all that and constantly grills him on his sexuality, and he shouldn't be siding with the Republican Party because he's a gay man. But listen to this dude going to his rants.
Courage to fight. But the only thing worse than the Democrats, if you're a gay voter, is the Republicans. Of course, not every Republican, but the party overall is fighting against your rights every step of the way. So I have a message for gay voters. What part of this don't you understand? They're just not that into you. They don't like your lifestyle. They don't like who you choose to sleep with. They don't like who you choose to love. They think you live in sin. How much clearer did they have to be? They don't like you. In the last election in 2008, 19% of gay voters voted for the GOP. As if that wasn't mental enough, in 2010, it was 31%. Does it seem like the GOP warmed up to you over the last 2 years? Now, people will say, gays don't vote on just one issue, and they don't all think alike. To which I say, of course, I know that, everybody knows that. So can a gay man be conservative economically or be in favor of the Iraq war? Of course. Those aren't great ideas either, but they can be. It's a free country. And of course gay men can and do have those opinions, and women as well. But those other issues are overwhelmed by the fact that they are against who you are as a person. The Mongols invaded Baghdad when it was the largest city in the world and killed every man, woman, and child in the city. If a citizen of Baghdad came out alive after all that, and he came out and said, yeah, but I like their tax policy, they would have been missing the point. I'm not comparing the Republicans to the Mongols. They don't want to kill you. But they did fight against your rights at every turn. Your right to get married and join the military are in danger now, but before it was your right to a job, your right to adopt, and even your right to have sex at all. When the Supreme Court finally ruled that laws against gay sex were unconstitutional, it was 2003. That was just 7 years ago. And every justice that voted against you was appointed by a Republican president. Justice Scalia wrote in his dissent, if we can't outlaw gay sex, what's next? We won't be able to outlaw masturbation? I'm serious, he wrote that. And here we just had a Republican, Christine O'Donnell in Delaware, on the anti-masturbation ticket. So these Republicans have come full circle. The next election, the number of gay Americans voting for the GOP should be 0%. Gay voters, wake up and smell the hate. They're not on your side.
Are the Democrats on their side?
They're not technically affiliated with the Republican Party, but they are gay and they're Republican and they're proud. Okay. So, but come on, when it comes to Mitt Romney, are you really going to endorse Mitt Romney? Because he has staked several positions that are specifically against gay rights. He thinks that there should be a federal amendment to make sure that no one can get married. So if even in your own state, Massachusetts, Iowa, wherever it might be, marriage is legal for gay Americans, he says, no, I want to get rid of that. First of all, he's of course in favor of the Defense of Marriage Act, which says that if you did get married in Vermont, it's okay for Alabama not to recognize it. And then second of all, if he had his way, he would do a whole constitutional amendment to make sure that you couldn't get married. So these proud gay Americans say, absolutely, Mitt Romney's our guy. They say, no, but we like his tax plan better. So first of all, why don't you just change the name of the group to Greedy Gay Republicans? Like, oh, you want to take away our rights? You want to treat us like second-class citizens? You want to, win elections based on calling us inferior in some way? Have at it, Hoss. Just give me an extra $10, okay? And then I'll be on your side. And then they turn around and say, oh, President Obama is using gay rights issues as to be socially divisive. No, he's saying you should have the same rights as everybody else. Whereas Mitt Romney and the Republican Party is saying, no, let's divide us, make sure that gays don't have the same rights as straights. How could you still be in that party, man? Now, Dan Savage goes much farther than I would. I mean, he's gay. I guess he can say this. Apparently, he tweeted out that they're house faggots. Ooh, even saying it sounds really harsh to me, but hey man, he can say whatever he likes. Now, for my purposes, to me, this feels like African Americans during the Civil War being in favor of the Confederacy and saying, yeah, I know the Confederacy is pro-slavery and they would make me a slave. On the other hand, I like their tax cuts. Okay, if you want to go in that direction, I guess have at it, Hoss, but it makes no sense with man. Now, Dan Savage goes much farther than I would. I mean, he's gay, I guess he can say this. Apparently, he tweeted out that they're house faggots. Ooh, even saying it sounds really harsh to me, but hey, man, he can say whatever he likes. Now, for my purposes, to me, this feels like African Americans during the Civil War being in favor of the Confederacy and saying, yeah, I know the Confederacy is pro-slavery and they would make me a slave. On the other hand, I like their tax cuts.
What you just saw here was a complete illustration of complete hypocrisy. So, like I stated before, liberals harp on the bandwagon of the Conservative Party or Republicans are bigoted, homophobic, and racist. Yet you see what Young Turk did to those individuals who happen to be gay that vote for the Republican Party, and you wonder why many of the gay people who do support the conservative platform, they're not vocal about it. I don't believe in comparing black to being gays. I ain't about that life at all. But if you look, it's something similar to when there's a black conservative. At the end there, you see him kind of throw that in there, saying a gay person who supports a Republican would be like a black person supporting the Confederacy. That's his liberal antic right there, trying to do the same thing towards black people. Now, he said what that other gay dude was tough to say and hard to say it, but he had no problem saying it. So who's the real bigot here? Why can't you respect that dude political ideology? You're more in line with him banging buttholes than you do care about where he chooses to spend his money or who he chooses to vote for. I'm not following that. But this is a clear illustration of their hypocrisy. You tell them that they're this way because they don't have this person, but when these people get up and say, I agree with the platform to that party, you use shaming language and you criticize them and you demonize them because they don't think the way you think. That's leftist logic.
Out that they're house faggots. Ooh, even saying it sounds really harsh to me, but hey, man, he can say